Howdy. I got to talk into this. Okay. Welcome to Meet the ISENs. Thanks. What a great crowd we have today. Thank you for coming. My name is Tom Ferris. I am one of the track coordinators for the Engineering Honors Program for the ISEN department. So if you're here for Engineering Honors, make sure you sign in with one of the sheets around here, QR code, so you can get credit for an event. And nice to meet you, and I hope to talk to more of you soon. But this is an event that has several purposes. So you may be wondering, what are we doing here? I know a lot of you are prospective ISEN students. Hopefully this gives you a flavor for what we do here. But who are your ISEN instructors and researchers? I know that we have 43 ISEN faculty, and you're not going to take 43 ISEN classes, so you are only going to get a small sampling of who are these people who are teaching at me. And believe it or not, we're like sort of people too, in addition to being, scholars. And we want to know a little bit about people on a personal level, a little bit, as much as they want to share, because you're all personal people. We're all personal people. We have real life interests in and outside of class, so you can learn a little bit of that. And then some of you are here because one of the things some of the presenters will do is talk about research opportunities, or at least research areas where, if you're an engineering honors student or any other student interested in research, you can get some ideas for, oh, that's the kind of thing I might want to do. And I'm going to tell you about, well, here are the next steps then, so you can follow through with that. So first of all, what you see over here on the left, this is a picture of Trey Rohde, who, when I started in 2011, he was an undergraduate ISEN student, and he came to me and said, are you doing research? What is your research? What could we do? And we worked together, and so I like to always point this out because eventually he became Dr. Rohde. And so, this is a nice kind of, life path, I hope, for some of you. And it starts with maybe what you want to do. So let me just talk about the process of getting involved in research. Engineering honors students, you maybe know that this is part of the requirement for your engineering honors program, is to do 6 credit hours of research. So this is me saying, hey, here's how you do it. And any ISEN student, in fact, I'd say any student, although if you're an ISEN student, you're more likely to probably be able to work with the faculty and the staff to get this to happen. First thing you do is figure out what you're interested in. You're going to get some interest here today. Okay, you're going to hear a lot about what people are doing. What do you do next then? I think follow up with the faculty or the presenters. They're going to give email addresses that say, hey, if you want more information, there they are, so note them down. I will always say, as a faculty, one of the most pleasant sorts of meetings with a new student who is asking, I want to learn about your research, is when they say, hey, can I come to your lab meeting? Because I know you're going to talk about it anyway. Or can I come to your office hours and talk research then? Yes, for sure. If it's me, that's the best time. Trying to catch me between classes is kind of harder for me to, give you a reasonable conversation around that. So ask about office hours. The next step is you're probably going and absorbing some of the research that's happening. Maybe this is joining lab meetings. Maybe this is getting plugged in like a small, getting you started sort of project that the faculty might help you with. And then there are multiple models here. Now, you can get course credit for doing research. There's an application process. And so if you're interested in this, we need to talk to our advisors, or you can talk to the engineering track coordinators. We know a little bit about this, but there is a GPA requirement, and there's a fairly heavy workload requirement with this. So if you think about a 3-credit class and you're supposed to take 10 or more hours a week on that, for research, we actually have a rule of thumb that's 5 hours roughly per credit hour. So if you're doing a 3-credit hour of ISEN 491 for course credit, that is potentially 15 hours a week on average, like a heavily loaded class. So just so you know what you're getting into there. If you have questions, talk to our excellent ISEN advisors, please. Another model, so some of you, for example, GPA requirements aren't always going to be met, but you really want to get involved, get a meaningful relationship with, some of the other researchers here, get something to talk about on the job hunt. There are also hourly student positions. This is on a project by project, faculty by faculty basis. There isn't like one place where you can go and apply for these. Starts with talking to faculty, figuring out what you're interested in, what they have to offer, and then finding matches. You would then register. Again, this is something, talk with the advisors to walk you through this. We have an application process, and you really need to have a pretty consistent involvement of the faculty as you're going through that application, because you kind of have to have, here's the full project that I'm planning to do. So it's probably after several weeks of meeting with the faculty, of absorbing things in the lab and defining kind of a good role there. And then there you are. So you would do the research. If you take it for credit, then you can get ISEN technical electives credit on your degree plan. So some students do that. And engineering honors students, you do 6 of these credit hours. And it's part of my role as track coordinator to help you, find those good spots, and the other track coordinators as well. Dr. Rohde, good. Okay, so you're going to hear from faculty today. I bet I'm pushing my time. Oh, I am. Good. Each of our ISEN faculty come from one of 5 focus areas. Sometimes we say 4, but there's a 5th, you'll see. And so you're going to hear from people in advanced manufacturing, and some of the topics you'll see there. You'll hear from people in data science. Our new data engineering program overlaps with this. You'll hear from operations researchers. I've got my friend and colleague, Dr. Moreno, right over here, ready to talk about that, and others as well. And you'll hear from health and human systems engineering faculty as well, some of the research we're doing. But also, these are all classes that you take with industrial engineering degrees. You're going to take classes in these areas. There's our 5th focus area. It's systems engineering, and the ability to bring all of these together and to bring disparate parts of engineering together to make them work well. That is the essence of being a systems engineer. So we're all systems engineers in addition. All right, what's going to happen here? Each presenter gets 3 minutes. I have 6 minutes for this intro, and I'm at like 6 minutes and something, so I got to stop. So this is rapid fire. It's hard to only talk for 3 minutes. I apologize. I'm probably blowing it. Probably not time for questions, so make sure you get those emails so you can follow up with those faculty, okay? Thank you very much. We are recording this. I don't expect the recording is going to be available anytime soon. I'm going to have to do some stuff to make it work with the audio. But I am also Dr. Ferris. If you want to follow up and say, hey, I was at the event, can I send that video to my friend or my roommate? You can get me this way. I'll forward it to you. Dr. Lee, are you ready for meeting our first ISEN? So Dr. Jason Lee, thank you for being here. Here you are.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. And I thought it'll be just an undergraduate student, but I see all the PhD and master level. So my name is Jason Lee. I'm an assistant professor in ISEN department. I joined this department about 2 years ago. Now I have taught the ISEN 350 quality control, quality engineering. So it's basically statistical control methodologies for the industrial applications. So it is designed for the junior and the senior students. So, and I'm teaching the 614, also another statistical quality control course, but this is for the graduate level. So I see some of the students who already took my courses, and I also taught the data engineering 210, which is uncertainty modeling. It's basically probability and statistical theory. So you can see all my courses is more about related to the statistical theories. So my research is about the statistical theories and machine learning stuff combined with the engineering knowledge and mathematics. So, and in the application of the in general manufacturing, okay? So I just want to introduce some of my researches. So this is the research about the uncertainty modeling. So I predict the underlying the contaminants level in the water based on the sensor signal. So based on the data we have, I just want to provide the probability of the underlying contaminants level in the water. And also these research works are about the smart manufacturing. And yeah, this is about based on the data we have, I wanted to provide where the problem comes from and what's the probability and the variation and so on. It's basically the statistical theories that you can implement. The bottom 2 research works are more about the machine learning stuff. So this is the decision making. So it's called the reinforcement learning. So based on the data you have and the historical data about the sensor signals and the time to failure, so you just want to make a better the maintenance policy to reduce the cost. And this is also, we can also incorporate the physics information into the machine learning systems. So this research is about the estimating the bond property from the CT data. So as you can see, all of my research involves the statistics and machine learning. And if you are interested in my research, you can feel free to reach out to me. You don't have to do the research with me. I can just provide some like the guidance or anything if you want. So feel free to talk to me. So my email address is not here for some reason. Yeah, but yeah, you can find me from the website. All right.
Oh, sorry. Is it on? Hello? I mean, I just wasted 10 seconds. Okay, my name is Joe Junis. I am a professor. I'm Associate Department Head for Graduate Affairs. So if you're interested in master's programs, you can come see me or Debbie, who works with us. My main area, my main interest is operations research, in particular optimization, and applying it to supply chain and logistics types of problems. I teach or have taught 310, which is a probability class, 320, which is your introduction to OR, deterministic operations research, 370, which is production systems engineering. And now I'm teaching data engineering 331, which is an optimization class for analytics. Okay. So yeah, it's applications of operations research, optimization problems in the supply chain, in determining what's going to be produced where and when, and how much inventory is going to be held at different stages in the system. And there's one class of problems I wanted to talk about briefly, and that is routing problems. And so doing a lot with routing problems lately, but if you think about who determines the sequence of visits each UPS driver executes throughout the day, right? It's a hard problem. There's lots of ways you can assign delivery points to the different drivers. And then once you do, how do you determine the sequence in which each driver is going to visit each drop off and pickup, okay? And then you have things like uncertainty in terms of pickups you might do, and can my truck hold all the pickups that I need to do today? So these are very large scale, difficult problems with lots of solutions, and it's very hard often to find an optimal solution to such problems. But we model them as mathematical as statements of optimization problems, and when we look for clever ways to provide good solutions to these problems, which aren't always able to be solved optimally, but we like to be able to solve them quickly and get something that is close to optimal, okay? So I think I have 30 seconds. Not that I don't trust Emily, but I want to know where I am. Okay, so these are a few of my favorite things. This is my wife, Sherry. This is Brad. Brad just started his master's in IOE at Michigan. And Eric is a PhD student at Princeton in chemistry. And Sophie is not a graduate student, but she lives with us still. And these are a few of my possessions that I enjoy playing around with. And I think that's perfect. Okay. Next.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Eric Moreno Centeno, and I have some of you here that are taking my class, so it's exciting. This is probably the only time that I can allow you to use your cell phones if you want, so. Oh, I have to move the slides myself? Oh, lack of service quality here. Okay, so I'm associate professor in operations research, and I'm teaching now 210, which is the deterministic optimization models class, but I also teach the follow-up operations research 1 and optimization algorithms every now and then. I'm also the advisor of the IASC student chapter, which is by far the best chapter in the department, engineering, and likely the university, definitely be sure to sign up for that. We have lots of good activities and events with companies, with faculty, socials, and so on and so forth. This is my family. This is how I like to remember my kids when they were young and little and obeyed me. So, and my hobbies are I like to do scuba diving, and this is with sharks, with some whale sharks on the Red Sea. One student graduated while COVID, so instead of going to hoot him traditionally, we went to Disney, and he had to fight me for his degree. So we did that, and then this is doing some sports kayaking with my family. The other hobbies are I also like to mingle with the Aggie Honor Office. I have a lot of frequent flyer miles there. I'm actually a member of the Honor Council there, and likely will be part now of the above the council for those appeals about separation cases specifically. So yeah, like kind of the Supreme Court. I like that. Yes. How am I doing with time? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I uh, I like to invite the students after exams. I have even exams. I invite them to play sports. I have played cricket, volleyball. I have volleyball, basketball, soccer, and pickleball, and other things. So, you know, if you take my classes, definitely I look forward to that. And then undergrad research opportunities, I'm building kind of a tutoring system to create automatic homework problems and their solutions. No, yeah. No, I have the bell. I have the bell. Uh, so, so I'm building this with the help of the graduates. If you want to do that, then you definitely, first thing is you have to excel in my class, and it has to be my class because I only trust myself. So, you know, so good. That's it. Okay.
To actually beat it, so.
Sounds good.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. JP Elizondo, and I don't actually do any research. I help run the writing center here in ISEN. So I teach ISEN 330, which is human factors. It's a writing course. And then I teach capstone, which is a speaking course. It's a communication course, technically. In my free time, I like to eat tacos, play basketball, and I did a PhD in mechanical engineering where I actually learned a lot about bone. So I know a lot about bone too. I run the writing center with Jose. He's my boss. He likes to garden, he makes furniture, and he was a colonel in the military. Long career there until he came over here. So we focus on, as you might guess, writing and communication. Most of the people we see either come in for resumes or come in because they're in one of our classes. But you're welcome to come in for really whatever. We have open office hours. So grad students, I know you write all the time. Come in, we can talk to you about your writing. We have no idea what you're doing, but we can help you write it well. It'll be okay. The other thing we help with is professional success. Jose in particular has a really large contact list on LinkedIn. We work pretty closely with the students in 460 that we just kind of annoy them for years after that. So we have a lot of contacts, so we can help you find jobs. So if you're looking for a job, come in, talk to us. We can get you in contact with someone. And to find us, go to Canvas. The advisor set up a really awesome Canvas page. We have office hours on there. We have some resources. But our office hours are Monday, 11 to 2, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2:30 to 4. The door will be open. Come on in and talk to us. Our office is ETB 3030, so not on the 4th floor like everyone else, but on the 3rd floor. And you can email us, vasquez@tamo.edu or jpe@tamo.edu.
Howdy. My name is Jiwoon Jung. I'm assistant professor, just joined this January. And then I'm from Korea, so I did my BS, MS in Korea, and then came to there. I'm from Korea. I didn't know that we have a much better school here. Yeah, so I have a pretty different experience in my career. Like I did work in the Samsung and also did a research in the national lab in Korea and also postdoc in, the cold place. So if you have something to discuss your, career plan, I can definitely have some time to chat with you. I'm teaching ISEN 281 and 350, especially this semester. I'm teaching 281 about the manufacturing processes. Research area is about the meta-additive manufacturing, basically manufacturing focus, and I will talk about it a little later. But my personal life, I really love, playing and watching tennis, and then I love this week because there is a Grand Slam, U.S. Open going, and then my wife is visiting New York to see the U.S. Open, and I'm here working. And also, I like to watching Cowboys game, and then being annoyed every time. We need a better quarterback anyway. Yeah. So that's my thing. About the research, basically, my all, the research is related to the manufacturing processes, and then my focus is measuring the temperature during the manufacturing process. So one of my hypothesis is temperature is the good signature to reflect your manufacturing process, whether it is going well or not. So I want to capture manufacturing process accurately, and also I want to read physics behind processes by looking at the temperatures. So application wise, of course, meta AM, also semiconductor packaging process, some of the material processing. And then after capturing the data, I want to work on with Dr. Lee previously presented, who is working on the data science. We'll plan to do lots of data science with him. So my equipment is coming up next month finally. So I'll have lots of things to implement, monitoring capabilities such as IR camera, photodiode, laser spectroscopy, lots of things. So there are many small projects. So talk to me, and then we can work together. Thank you.
Howdy, everyone. To start, I am not Dr. Farzan Sassangohar. He is currently in South Korea receiving an award, and he asked me to present on his behalf. But I can tell you who I am. My name is Dave Garrett Mitchell. I am a undergraduate senior ISEN major. I've been a part of this lab, his lab, the ACE lab, for 2 years. And I can tell you that what Dr. Ferris told you earlier is true. This event truly works. I attended this 2 years ago, talked to Dr. S after the event, and he offered me a position to join the lab. And so I just want to go over that a little bit, but the first time you will probably interact with him is in ISEN 330. That is the class that he particularly teaches. And he also offers a study abroad version of the class as well. But let's get into the lab and his research. The ACE lab, or the Applied Cognitive Ergonomics Lab, manages numerous projects across several industry fronts, including projects within healthcare, mental health, the oil and gas industry, and several industry and fronts. I specifically manage projects that focus on telehealth programs, specifically remote monitoring. The scope of this project is to understand what barriers patients experience and the adoption and continual use of remote monitoring. We are collecting information from their perspective as well as from providers in order to develop patient personas and thematic barriers to understand potential mitigation strategies for those applications. The projects I also contribute to, I also have assisted in several other projects, including health applications. As you can see in the top left, that is actually applications that we have been developing within the lab. And doing test beds on those to understand usability of those. The projects I contribute to focus on are regards to digital health and usability. Even this, and I can tell you firsthand that those projects I assist to is very little, as well as even the slide to what we do and what Dr. S offers within the lab. I can tell you firsthand, though, that if you're interested in pursuing any research project, Dr. S will not only find a project that fits what you're desiring to do, but will be able to make sure that you have an active role within that project where you can develop those skills in order to understand how to conduct research. But that is merely the beginning with what you can do within those projects, because he will also pursue you and push you and urge you to not only conduct the research, but present that research that you've done at conferences. I myself, along with another individual, just got back from Houston presenting my research at the PATS Up conference, digital health workshop. And then again, myself as well as 8 others will leave and fly out to Phoenix in 2 weeks to present at the HFES Aspire conference to present our research again. I can tell you firsthand that if you have an interest in research, Dr. Sasangohar is a great opportunity to pursue if you're interested. I apologize I did not list his email. If you do want to reach out to him, it is his last name at tamu.edu. But thank you.
And we will send out a copy of these slides. All right, Dr. Putnam?
Howdy. So I'm Samson Kanaku. I'm a PhD student and I work with Dr. Satish Bukapatnam. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today, but I'm just gonna give a short overview of what we do in the lab. So our work is basically data-driven research in engineering, AI, and manufacturing. And one thing about this group is there's AI in every single research topic that we work with. So to start, there's a project with Lawrence Livermore National Lab, which is on the smart polishing of diamond-coated shells for inertial confinement nuclear fusion. So that's basically a way of producing clean energy by firing firing lasers on diamond shells, and then the firing of energy produces a fusion reaction, and that produces a lot of energy. So for the process to be successful, you need as little defects on the shell surfaces as possible. And so we're basically using sensors and AI to make sure that we avoid defects or any anomalies and get the best shell surfaces possible. We have other projects under the National Science Foundation. So we do autonomous material and manufacturing process recipe discovery. So that's basically finding the right materials and the right manufacturing process parameters to use in manufacturing processes so that you can get the best results. Another way is to rapidly characterize material morphology and microstructure using AI as well. So instead of spending long times taking SEM images for, SEM means scanning electron microscope, by the way. So that's a way to observe the microstructure of elements that are used in engineering. So we've incorporated AI into making that process faster. And the last thing is with the Department of Energy and SESME. So SESME means Clean Energy Smart Manufacturing Institutes. And basically, we're able to use smart hybrid manufacturing for the smartification of manufacturing environments. So this machine that you see on the left side is a hybrid the hybrid machine. So it adds both additive and subtractive manufacturing. So we have 3D printing. It also does machining. You can do laser heat treatment. You can do grinding, and it has some Dremel tools in there. So the first image you see is the part immediately after 3D printing. And then the second image is after you do subtractive manufacturing on the surface, because one of the characteristics of 3D printed parts is they usually have rough surfaces. So if you have a machine that can do all of it at once, that's a really good thing to work on. So there's a number of interesting projects you can work on. So just email Dr. Satish at tamu.edu. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon. So I'm Samuel.
So that is my family name, which is difficult to read. So actually, I'm a professor at Department of Mechanical Engineering in Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, Chennai, that is in the southern part of India. But I'm here as a Fulbright scholar and as an adjunct faculty, adjunct professor at ISEN department. So I'm teaching now actually 658, that is the principles of manufacturing. And next semester I'll be teaching ISEN 281, so that is essentials of modern manufacturing methods for engineering design. So my areas of research are metrology, so that is dealing with the measurement of science. And also actually we have been working with micro machining, so where we use the tools which are of the size of the order of hair and even smaller. So that is by using a physical tools like drilling and milling tools. So then actually I moved on to unconventional manufacturing process with electrical discharge machining. And then later actually I am the PI for establishing this Center of Excellence for Advanced Laser Material Processing and Surface Engineering. So we have actually a large set of people working in this group, so which I am leading. And then we have lasers of different like continuous lasers, nanosecond laser, and also femtosecond laser, like which send the pulses in the time period of 10 to the power of minus 15 second. So even this is a second, but 10 to the power of minus 15th of a second, it sends the pulses. And we see wonderful things happening when this type of laser actually interacts with different materials. So of late, I have been working with the digital twins. So where we have a project with a company. So where the title of this is Demonstration and Development of Testbed for Autonomous Factories using the digital twins. So this is one of the interesting and upcoming area. So where we have been building the digital twins of typical machinery which will be there in an industry like a CNC machine, the robots, the automated guided vehicles for transport of the material, and a 3D printer. And we have almost done several of them. So both the like the physical twins, and also we have been working on developing the process twins. So here we see everything, whatever happening in the real factory. So this is the real factory, and that is on the digital twin. So it can happen. But more scientific thing is that when the metal cutting is happening, so what is happening? So that is called as the process digital twin. So that we are in the process of developing. Similarly, so we have done for the 3D printing, and this is what I'm doing. So I'm there in the 4th floor, and in Fulbright actually has a provision to bring all the family. So as a family, we are here. So if you love Indian food, I think my wife is a good cook, so we are invited. My 2 sons are doing their internship here with the Professor Satish Bukapatnam. Thank you. These are our campus.
Yeah, it's on, okay. Howdy, everyone. My name is Ray Tuo. I'm an assistant professor in ISEN department. Here you can see me and my wife. We married 3 years ago, and now we have a 3-month-old baby boy. Yeah, here on the left top is the list of the courses I have been teaching in ISEN. So you can see basically undergraduate design and analysis of experiment, and also the graduate level version. And I also teach machine learning and stochastic process. And this semester, I'm also teaching for the DAEN course on the statistical and machine learning. And my research concentrated on the data science area. So I'm a faculty member in the data science area, and my background is in statistics. Okay, so specifically I do research in data science for computer simulations and uncertainty quantification and some machine learning. kind of, I'm more on the methodological side, but I also work on some applied statistician problem in the industrial statistics area. So here is a kind of a rough description of the NSF-funded project on my team. So it's called, well, basically two keywords are the Bayesian neural network and the Gaussian process models. So Bayesian neural network is a Bayesian version of neural network. Basically, what it contains is that you have a neural network, but you want to bring some Bayesian flavor. Basically, it's a probabilistic way of modeling the parameters. So each parameter has a probability distribution. So what it does is eventually, when you do prediction via a Bayesian neural network, you are going to get a distribution. So not just a point estimation. And well, the other aspect is Gaussian process models. Those are statistical models. Basically, it's also a Bayesian one, but you have a more complicated prior called Gaussian process. So for those models, you can also do prediction, like those kind of non-parametric modeling, and you can do prediction at each point. It will give you confidence intervals. So this research, our goal is to create some kind of tools to bridge these two areas. Basically, the neural network kind of idea are mostly coming from the computer scientists. And the Gaussian process model was, well, historically or traditionally used by statisticians. And we recently identified some connections between, well, these two areas. So hope we can do something along this direction with the goal of developing better tools for machine learning. Okay, so that's, thank you.
Howdy. Is that working? Okay. All right, thanks. Okay, so my name is David Ekman. Then I'm starting, I guess, what would be my 4th year here. It's a little hard to believe, and yet I've quickly forgotten what life was like before coming here. So over on the right there, I'll start on the personal side. That's a recent picture from a trip to Alaska this summer. My dog, Kia, did not make the trip. She's afraid of puddles, so I don't think she would have liked the cruise ship all that much. My son's about to turn 2 there this weekend, so to give a sense of what my life is like right now, he just accidentally ordered $27 of books off a Kindle the other day. So if I'm slow to reply to emails, it's for these reasons. In terms of courses for undergrad, I teach either the system simulation junior level class or the technical elective ISEN 413. Something to maybe mark in your calendar, though unconfirmed. I'm hoping to teach a Dane senior tech elective in simulation analytics next school year. So that would be like a fusion of the first 2 courses plus some extra. On the research side, I am sort of straddling the data science operations research areas. My research generally starts where ISEN 355 system simulation ends. So if you build a simulation model of a call center, the kind of problems I look at is how do you optimally staff a call center to keep staffing costs low while keeping service levels above some threshold. So in that space, I have to say I do envy many of the other presentations that have really nice pictures or videos of their work. That I'm more on the statistics side of simulation, so I struggle to come up with good graphics. What I have here, these are from 2 undergraduate research projects I've been involved with. On the left is work from SimOpt. This is an open source Python library that I've been working on for simulation optimization solvers and problems. Where undergraduate students tend to contribute is they'll spend a semester doing 491 or so, and they'll code up a model or a solver in an area of their interest, and then we test it out by the end of the term. So these are the kind of plots you can produce. Over on the right, I've been working with a Dane undergraduate, actually, on writing a Julia package for a set of statistical methods we've been developing. So generally, I'm looking for students who have taken 355 system simulation and done well, but I may occasionally have other projects that are suitable for sophomores. Okay.
Howdy. I am Scott Miller. As my title says, I'm a lecturer, which basically means I have no research interest. I don't do research. So if you're here looking for research opportunities, go ahead, check your Instagram, get on TikTok while I talk about myself. So I am currently teaching ISEN 302, Engineering Economy, ISEN 411, which is a technical management elective, and ISEN 460, Capstone Design class. We had that today, introduced projects to our students. We're pretty excited about that. I am an Aggie. I am a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, class of way before any of you were born. Probably in some cases before your parents were born, class of 85. I took a very slow route towards getting a master's in business administration from the University of Houston in 1996. That essentially means both universities contact me asking for money all the time. I'm also a registered professional engineer in control systems, which kind of ties me to the department a little bit, but highly encourage that as a career path for you to get registered as a professional engineer, no matter what discipline you get into, if it's ISEN or something else. So some more personal stuff. I am a husband and a father. Picture in the middle there is my wife Pam, my son Matthew, and my daughter-in-law Katie. I am somewhat of a car guy. I tend to gravitate towards the strange and really the stuff nobody else wants because it's cheap. I'm a teacher, obviously, we talked about that. I'm a hay farmer, which means that I sit and watch my brother-in-law cut and bale hay so that I can get a rebate on my taxes. And I am a cat owner. But these are not spoiled cats like my brother and sister have. These are outside cats. They are working cats, Waylon and Emmy Lou. They occasionally make an appearance in my class on my slides. They are not spoiled, as Waylon would tell you if he would come out of his heated house where he's at there. So how did a mechanical engineer end up teaching in ISEN? So this was my work history. I started out as a mechanical engineer. I wanted to design stuff. In the perfect world, I would have designed cars, but I determined I would have to move somewhere where it snows, so I didn't do that. So I got into design of semiconductor equipment, did some jobs in semiconductor, and then ended up in oil field because I moved to Houston. Really didn't enjoy what I was doing. I really wanted a bigger picture of what was going on. I didn't want to sit at a desk designing stuff. Nothing wrong with that. I worked with a lot of people that were really good at it, enjoyed it. It just wasn't for me. So I got a sales job selling industrial automation equipment. Did that for 23 years and loved it. I applied a lot of the stuff I learned as a mechanical engineer, helping people solve problems. Applied a lot of the stuff I learned when I got my master's. I went way too far. Ended up here doing project management. They needed somebody to teach. And I've been doing that now for about 3 years. I think I like it as much as I enjoyed the industrial sales stuff. So I will look forward to having you in my class. If you haven't decided on ISEN yet, I'm a really good example of changing your career as you move through it. ISEN provides lots of opportunities for that. I would encourage you to consider it.
Howdy, everyone. My name is Dr. Zijan Pei. No, I'm Jackson. I'm a student, and I'm presenting on his behalf. He is here. But yes, informally, we are the Sustainable 3D Printing Group. We work on a lot of additive and advanced manufacturing. And I'm going to introduce you all to our lab. So there are 8 of us. There's quite a few of us. That is Dr. Pei. Dr. Pei teaches ISEN 281 Intro to Manufacturing. So you might run into him if you're considering ISEN. Also, every now and then, there's a grant proposal writing class that gets sprinkled in there. And our group's research interests are additive and subtractive manufacturing. Right now we have, and I'll go into more depth on the projects, but a look at sustainable manufacturing is kind of where we're gearing most of our projects toward. So last night I was talking with my dad about how I'm going to do this, and he said, "How are you going to grab everyone's attention?" And I told him that I'm going to talk about climate change. And he said, "First, you're going to have to convince me the Earth is older than 6,000 years." So it's real tough talking with him. But with y'all, I'm hoping I can show that over the course of the past 800,000 years, you can see the level of carbon in our atmosphere has skyrocketed. This is a problem. Human activities, according to the IPCC report, have principally through emissions of greenhouse gases, have unequivocally caused global warming. And we want to make a difference with that. In that same report, they talk about how effective climate action is only going to be enabled by political commitment, well-aligned multi-level governance, and institutional frameworks and laws. Judging on our forecast for the next 4 years, I don't think any of that's going to happen. So the only thing we can do is step up and manufacture better. Some of the projects we have going on are fungi biomass 3D printing. So we take agricultural waste, inoculate it with fungus, and try and make a usable structure out of it. We also have some 3D printing for carbon capture. So using zeolites and other minerals along with some food waste to try and repurpose waste into carbon capture. And we also have a cool industry partnership with Saint-Gobain, not Saint-Gobain, and we do some binder jetting with them. I got the chance through our lab to go work in Massachusetts this summer. So, oh yeah, I didn't preface much either. I've been at A&M for 7 years now. I started as an undergrad in ISEN here, did my master's here. They can't get rid of me. I'm doing my PhD now, and I really like it. This is some of just the PhD students that are also have been through the department. A couple are gone now, but it's a really cool group here. I encourage you to talk with someone who is in ISEN because they will surely energetically introduce you to what they research on and why they chose this field of study. My email is not up here, but it's jacksonjsanders@tamu.edu. We can't promise that we have a ton of spots open, but we are looking for undergrad researchers and we'd be happy to talk with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Howdy. My name is Jason Nixon. So this is my traveling academics problem that I solved over the years until I got here, starting from here. And if you've taken any OR course, you probably have heard of traveling salesman problem, but not traveling academics problem. It definitely is not the shortest path to getting here, but that's kind of shows my journey. If you take any of my classes that I teach in the operations research and data analytics area, like I taught ISO 320, 413, I'll give you a full tour of my academic journey. But now I have only 3 minutes to talk about research and my life. So what I was doing this year, so in the past, I mean, I have 2 daughters, and this is my wife, who's also a professor in sociology here at A&M. What I've been doing this summer was I went to the Olympics. That's the highlight. With my family, that was really fun. That's Stadium de France, Stade de France, and then this is Louvre, in front of Louvre. So it was really fun and memorable experience. As far as research goes, my work is on modeling and design of network multi-agent systems. And you may say, what are those? Any autonomous team that communicates over a wireless network or somehow that's a network system. The energy grid is a network system, or epidemics that spread through individual interactions, that's a network system. So I'd like to talk 1 minute about each of these, or maybe 30 seconds for each of these. So what do? I use tools from optimization, game theory, to design algorithms such that you have these drone shows that you show that is now prevalent in every major event that you see for NFL openings, Super Bowl, or any game actually. and World Cup, Olympics, whatever. And we want these to be scalable and be happening on the fly as the environment changes. And I've worked in epidemic modeling as well, starting from my postdoc times. And the idea there was how to incorporate social behavior into our epidemic models so we can come up with standardized forecasting and control policies. So just to kind of dig deeper into this, this is actually, if you take it 320, this problem can be thought of as like a scheduling problem. So there are 5 robots, they want to schedule themselves to each position. How do they find where to go? And how do they decide where to go? And then once they find their positions, we give them another set of positions, and they need to find that they need to be able to go to each position fast enough. So this video is longer than my 3 minutes, so I kind of will cut it off here and move on. So I've been interested in communication aware mobility. So if you look at the algorithm on the left, the path that the robots go, they huddle together, solve the problem, and then go to the locations they want to go to. Whereas if you just run some distributed scheduling algorithm and optimization algorithm, they'll kind of do zigzags. And I'll end with the last piece on epidemic modeling. These are the students that work on this. And then epidemic modeling, we're interested in forecasting what's going to happen in the future in the event of an outbreak. So I've been doing that during COVID as well. And these are my students currently. And then I have 3 undergrads that are currently working with me. Some of them took my 413 class, the data analytics class, actually all of them. So with that, I'll stop. Sorry, I'm on time. Thank you.
All right. Howdy, I'm back. Hello. Okay, this is me. I am Dr. Ferris. I'm an associate professor in health and human systems engineering. You may see me in some of these classroom contexts. So 330 and 434, it's a senior level technical elective I like to teach sometimes. And I teach 2 very regular graduate courses in our area, health and human systems, cognitive systems engineering, and human information processing. Undergraduates who are really interested in advanced classes, come and talk to me if you maybe want to take these. You got to be, closer to your senior level, but there are ways those can count for special electives depending on your program. This is me in the research world. So I study human input and output. That's a pretty good way to generalize this. I'm interested in displays and controls, and I'm interested in knowing what's going on with the humans cognitively. Are they under stress? Are they under heavy workload? Because these will affect how people behave cognitively, how they perform in a cognitive work context. I also am a guy who has a life, so that's my lovely family. They're a little older now, we get these older pictures, but that's a fairly recent picture of Plie, my cat. She does my hair. And disc golf is my main hobby. I'm going to be playing probably in about 3 hours. I'll be on the course with my son. That's my guy, number 43 junior disc golfer in the world is my son, and I'm the number 43 best junior disc golf caddy. That was this last summer, really cool. I'm also a music fan, and I like weird music. I play keys instruments for the most part, and I am an audio-visual weird artist. So if you've ever heard of my mad science minutes in my lab meetings, this is where I like to talk about this weird stuff. But I'm a hobbyist that likes to work in the medium of weird and especially illuminated weird stuff. So if you are interested, my research lab is the Human Factors and Cognitive Systems Lab. We have an awesome group. Several of them are in this room right now. In general, the things we are looking to do involve designing displays and controls for unusual environments sometimes. We have also simulators that need people who want to learn how to make a simulation environment and test human behavior in there. We have a driving sim that's real easy to work with. We have a flight simulator. We have virtual reality versions of a lot of different environments that we're working on. In particular, probably a good focus here is we have a whole lot of human collected data, and we're trying to make sense of it. When people look fatigued, when people are, getting at risk of becoming overloaded. We do a lot of physiological data collection, and then the data processing side is its own, research sort of endeavor, is how do you make sense of these data? New direction that I want to talk about, I have been talking about in my classes. It's not as well defined, but I'm calling it creativity, art, and humor. And so if you think, wow, this is weird, how does this guy do this and call it industrial engineering? I'm trying to figure that out. Okay. So if you are a gadgety person, if you like to build things which might be applicable to a research project, we're building, new display types and things, or if you are an artist and you want to talk about, I learned how to make this thing in 281 and I want to do the next thing in like a hobbyist kind of mode, come and talk to me. So I'm T. Ferris, thanks a lot, and see you around. Right? All right, fast track, please.
All right. Howdy. All right, I know y'all are tired and you want to go to the football game and you are not thinking about one more person talking to you, but I'm going to give it a go. My name is Debbie Starnes and I am on the graduate team here with the ISEN department. And I am here to talk about the Fast Track program. Basically, in a nutshell, it's a program designed for our undergrads starting in their junior year. If they are academically sound, to basically double dip. You can take a graduate version of an undergraduate course to complete one of your undergraduate requirements. And then in your last term, you will be able to reserve that for graduate credit. Students in our program have the ability to save over $14,000. This is in graduate fees. So that's basically you save a semester, and the student business department has said that a grad student will spend about $28,000 a year towards a master's degree. So you can shave off one whole semester. And over on the far right there on the bottom, when you guys graduate and you walk in the stage, right before that, you're gonna be in the bottom of Reed Arena, the Career Center is gonna give you this little card and they're gonna wanna ask you, where are you gonna work, what's your title, and how much money you're gonna make. So in 2023, on the far right, on average, our bachelor students made a little over 78 grand. But if you had gotten a master's degree that year, on average, you would have made over 93 grand. Who in here thinks 93 is a whole lot better than 78, right? We have the best department, in my opinion, here in the College of Engineering. There is no reason, folks, that you can't come in and be part of the Fast Track program and make yourself more marketable when you get out of Texas A&M. Okay, Fast Track is what you do. You're fast track to the grad program, but you have to get into a grad program. You have to be officially a master's student. That's the Quick Admit program. Quick Admit application. Basically, with these two programs, you don't have to take the GRE, expedited review of your application, and one hell of an ability to make a whole lot more money. Excuse me for cussing. All right, folks, that is it for me. Am I the last person?
Andy Warhol promised me 15 minutes. Tom gives me 3, right? All right. Think. Is this thing on? And it's hooked up to what? Howdy. Oh, howdy. All right. So this is me. So Michael Grohl, class of 84. I'm a 3-time Aggie. My kids are all Aggies, so I like maroon and white. And the fact that you guys are still here and not over at the stadium is interesting. I was also the commanding officer at Trident P2 back in the day. So I was also in the Corps of Cadets. I was a senior scientist out at Knowledge Based Systems, Inc. From 92 to the present, though I'm not actively working there currently. I'm obviously over here at Texas A&M. I came out of the Artificial Intelligence Lab. Back then it was over in the Weisenbaker Engineering Research Center. It was called the Knowledge Based Lab, Knowledge Based Systems Laboratory. And unlike the way they do AI today, which is from the data back into patterns, we were looking at capturing knowledge in what was called knowledge engineering. I don't know how much they do that these days, but this was using models, and it spawned an entire industry of system engineering models and techniques and the like, and that's the area that I've been working in ever since. I've also been on the faculty, came back in here to teach periodically back in 2013.
I actually came back full-time to join as the associate department head. Dr. Mark Lawley at the time brought me back in 2017. I stayed in that position for about 4 years. And then I moved over to T's workforce development to run professional and continuing education, which is where I spend 67% of my time, 33% teaching classes back here. I love the teaching the undergrad classes and the graduate classes. I get a chance to do each periodically. The classes that I'm teaching this semester are the engineering management at the graduate level. So we take on such topics of digital twins and the like they don't cover at the undergraduate level. That engineering managers will have to take on. There's Morgan. Morgan owes me an article here coming up fairly soon. So yes, we have a lot of things going on. I know he's one of Tom's students as well. So in any case, you can get kind of a background there. I am not here to talk about my research. It's all on the Department of Defense side. I can't talk about it anyway, but it wouldn't be of great value to talk about it yet unless you had an advanced degree. However, I am here to offer my support on things that might be of interest to you. So I also am a registered professional engineer. You don't find too many of those in the hallowed halls anymore, but I would like to see you guys all go out there and actively pursue that license. I do work on the committee that produces the exam, so I can't teach you how to study for it, but I can talk about the exam itself and about the nuances of becoming a professional engineer. Scott's also a professional engineer. I don't know who else is a PE in here, but it's a great opportunity for you to get you about a 25K bump when you do get the thing out there in industry, and it'll set you apart from the other engineers. Remember, you're competing with your peers out of Georgia Tech, Michigan, and the like. They don't get their PE and you get yours. You've got a much better opportunity, I think, as an industrial system engineer. I also sit on the board of that body of knowledge. And I think Debbie kind of alluded to it earlier. Somebody probably put up the tiles of life, the 14 core competencies that define who we are. And so I get a chance to look at that. That bell wasn't for me. I know that because everybody's been going over. And so I know you guys want to get out of here, but let me just also point out, I do also the faculty advisor for the Engineering Management Club. So if you guys want to join that, come in. It's brand new. It's student organization, but Dr. Timo has promised us pizza galore and every meeting, and we'll get a chance to have some great speakers come in with respect to that as well. I like working capstone opportunities. So if you're a senior and you're with Scott and you're with Michael Doe and the capstone and you need an advisor, I'll be happy to work there. So again, I'm offering my time with respect to this. And then finally, anything system engineering, methods, tools, and techniques. Dr. Meyer was my PhD chair when I was here at Texas A&M. He actually is the owner of Knowledge Based Systems, Inc., which is a company of, by, and for industrial and system engineers. And he also owns what else in town? Anybody know this little trivia question? He and his wife are both industrial and system engineers, but he owns Spirit Ice Rink. Yes, so if you're interested in skating, I know Tom comes from a cold environment originally, so he knows how to skate. But and Dr. Meyer does all his own maintenance, by the way, on that facility. So if you're interested in talking shop with him, anything ISEN related, I'm certainly at your beck and call to assist in any way possible. So thank you very much. On to Notre Dame. All right.
Thanks, everybody. That is, you met your ISENs. So again, following up, let me just show the very first slide if you want to. Hey, can you give me that? Can you give me that video, Ferris? I am that guy, T. Ferris. So, or there's our advisors also. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Oh, one more thing. Oh, Emily's got.
All right, so most of y'all heard this announcement, but just in case you didn't, if you are engineering honors, don't forget to sign in with the QR code so that you get credit for attending. We will be posting the slides at least to our Advising Canvas page. If you are not a current ISEN student and you want a copy, just email me or email our advisors or email any of the emails you got and we'll help you out. And thank you for coming.